All right, let's get started. Talk to me. That's the plan to get started today. Talking a little bit, catching up on how things have been. We'll use the well, better, how as our framework, but we can go off the cuff a little bit. I need updates. I need to know how we've done since then. I've been trying to find scores and all that, but I don't really see scores online anywhere. Coach, but you don't want them on. No. Yeah. So give me results first. Going back to West Ashley, and y'all played like Ashley Ridge at West Ashley. Was that right? Or, yeah.
West Ashley and then
Lucy Beckham. Okay. So how did that day go? Just good, straight results.
It was a good day.
Okay. All right. What is good? Like, did we? So we won. You? No. The team didn't. Okay. Okay. All right. And is it like tennis out there where it's like you can win your individual match, but at the end of the day, all your okay, that's fine. Okay. All right. Have we won as a team at all since I last met?
No, we didn't. We won those two. We did not.
That was the one where they left.
I don't think. No, but then there was another one that we did actually win.
Well, they keep calling them scrimmages. I don't understand.
We're still won.
Okay. And I'm assuming that was the tournament y'all were in? No. This was just a.
The tournament is like every school.
Okay. How'd the tournament go? Not good.
It was really bad.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
Okay.
I don't know about everybody else, but for me specifically, it was just so. I
Yeah.
didn't play good. My mindset wasn't good. It was hot.
Hmm.
I was
That was
tired.
last weekend, right? Or 2 weekends ago?
Last
Last Monday. Okay. Okay.
It's not good.
Well, if it makes you that make you feel better, but I can relate because I actually was in Texas last weekend for my brother's bachelor weekend, and he's a big golfer, and so we went and golfed. And it was like 96 to 99, 100 degrees, and we played 18 holes. And like by the 15th hole, like it felt like I had a brain freeze, like the back of my eyeball, but it was obviously not cold. It was like I'm probably having a heat stroke here. And not to mention my golf game is subpar, to say the least. So I thought about y'all a little bit as I was out there trying to coach myself mentally on the golf game. But fortunately, I was okay mentally because it's like I don't practice enough to be good. So I'm just going to try to have fun and, keep the ball, not lose too many balls. I think I lost only 12 or 13 balls, but just see the fun in the sport. As okay, and then how about yesterday? What was the result for yesterday?
Well, we lost.
Okay.
But it wasn't bad. It wasn't the worst.
Okay.
Personally, I didn't do very good.
Okay.
I was also like, my mindset wasn't in that way.
Okay.
Yesterday.
All right, so now what I want to do, now that I've got the general gist of the results, and we're caught up there, I'm going to have each one of you give me a well, better, how. Okay, you can give me multiple if you want, but I want one from each of you, okay? So tell me something that's gone well over the last week and a half, 2 weeks, something that needs to improve, and the hardest part is the how. And you might not even have the answers to the how, and that's usually where coaches can step in, especially if it's a mental thing. I can help you with that, all right? But the idea is the ultimate goal should be for every coach, and I know for me as a mental performance coach, the goal is for you to not need me, right? For you to be your own coach. The goal is to basically brainwash you enough so that you make the corrections, when you're competing. You notice what's happening. You can fix it on your own. Does that ever come to completion? No. I mean, humans. It's like I can go play golf for fun. I could go play any sport for fun, and when it's you and your ego and you're the one doing it, like all of a sudden you become not always the best coach for yourself. I can coach tons of high school players to do things, but then I can't always practice it. And so I understand that coaching yourself is an ongoing battle that you're always going to try to fight a little bit. But I guess ultimately what I want for you is to not to not fight it. Be a better coach of yourself. We're going to talk a lot about self-talk in the next couple of weeks, which is massive in golf, right? All sports, but even more so in golf, because in golf, there's so much time between shots usually to talk to yourself. And golf is a quiet sport, which, tells you everything you need to know. Golf and tennis are the traditional ones where everybody's got to hush and not say a word while you're trying to do this. And that's a testament to how hard it is. And a testament to how much is going on in between your ears, because it's like, hey, I already got enough going on in here. Can everybody else please shut up while I'm trying to swing? What other sport does? All the other sports, it's like, hey, let's see how obnoxious we can be while you're trying to do that, right? Your sport, it's like, we're all going to go ahead and agree that we should all just hush and let this person focus. And sometimes that can be even worse, right? That can make the voices in your head even louder, because it's all you hear and all you're talking about with yourself. So that self-coaching stuff is ultimately what I'm trying to help you guys with too. But I digress, or progress. Well, better how? Maddie, let's start with the captain, right? Allison, we'll start with you, all right? Give me a well, better how from the last week and a half.
My drives were good, a few of them.
Okay.
A few of them weren't, but most of them were alright. And then I think what I could do better was not get so mad when I had a bad shot. Because I just get so mad and I keep thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it messes up the next shot and the next shot. Because then those are bad and then the next one's bad.
Yeah, snowball.
Yeah, I think I could do that, and I don't really know how I'm gonna do that, but I think I just need to forget about it and think more about how I can correct the way I did the shot,
Mm-hmm.
like my swing and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
instead of thinking about the outcome.
Mm-hmm. And even thinking about the mechanics of the shot is probably it's probably not the time and the place for it, right? And again, it's why your sport's hard a little bit, and baseball is kind of the same way too. Like, hitters can be the same way, where there is a lull between, at least a hitter comes up, he has an at bat, he's got a couple of innings before he hits again, so that he can be thinking a little bit about the swing, and he can be thinking about the emotions of it in the build up to the next swing, like y'all have in golf. But really getting too technical with yourself is probably best left for the practice rounds, right? And for the range. It's not to say you shouldn't make, in-game adjustments, but you also don't want to get too coachy and too in your head in terms of trying to fix everything in that day. You kind of, when you show up to the course mentally and physically, it kind of has to be like taking a test, where it's like, what's done is done. This is who I am today. This is what I have. And I'm going to give 100% of whatever percent I have. So have you ever felt like you're 100% that day? No, it's pretty hard to feel 100% in anything in life, right? What we have to do is control the controllables and say, for whatever reason today, I am at 80% of my ability, and I'm going to give 100% of my 80%. And it's kind of like that glass half full mentality. Instead of focusing on the 20% that you don't have today, it's causing you to, your shots to spray or something, your short games off, whatever it may be. This is what I do have. I'm going to focus on that, because I'm at war with myself right now. And if I give in at all and I get too critical and I get too negative, there's no chance I'm going to win this thing, right? I can go be negative and critical, practice tomorrow and on the range and dissect it and, kick myself for X, Y, and Z. But you have to understand that when you're competing, you have to be your own best friend, right? And that's hard for athletes in general, because we are hard on ourselves, and you need to be, generally speaking, hard on yourself and have a really high standard when you're an athlete. You got to hold yourself to a higher standard than anyone else. If you're not, then good luck being elite or even good at your sport, right? But then when you go play, it's like, yay me, right? Hard. It's hard to flip those switches back and forth. And in terms of the how, right? So you may raise your hand if you agree with her, what she said, in terms of having a bad shot and moving on from it, or struggling to move on from it, right? That's most people, right? Most people in golf are going to be like, it's going to stack and it's going to carry. We're going to talk about systems, right? Systems is a process. Process is just routines. It's your routines, it's your habits, it's your rituals, right? Whether you have it or not, whether you realize it or not, you all have routines, habits, and rituals between shots and leading up to shots, even if that is, I have nothing at all. That is your routine. That is what you're repeating. And so writing down and structuring a pre-shot routine and a post-shot routine, or you can say they go hand in hand, of this is what I do, this is what I say, and this is how I behave between each shot, gives you something that you can control and go to when you notice that you're getting pissed off with yourself, right? And you're getting negative. You go, oh, that's right. My routine is inhale, exhale, say this thing to myself, look at this spot on my club, and then go hit the next shot, right? You have to program that, and it's going to take time, and that's something that we're going to work on and try to develop. And again, as athletes, y'all probably already have some routines in place to begin with. I'm just going to help you refine them a little bit. We like to call them reset routines, because that's what it is. It's I got to reset, all right? And the thing too is, like, it's not just reset after a bad shot. It's reset after a good shot too, because you make a good shot and all of a sudden it's like, I'm on top of the world, and you're maybe setting yourself up for an emotional drop if the next shot isn't what you hope. And I just experienced that in golf. Like, I can put together a good shot on a hole, but 3, 4, or 5 of them is like, and it's, oh man, I drove the ball down the fairway, and you come up and you're like, well, don't screw it up now, like, keep it going, so it's that just within one hole. The reset routines, I do them every time. It helps you create, hopefully, that flow state where you're not so much concerned about the results. You're turning down that negative voice in your head, and you are truly kind of point to point, shot to shot, stroke to stroke. So good. I'm glad you shared that with me. Anything else you want to elaborate on? You kind of mentioned your mindset a little bit. Was that what you're talking about? It's just kind of your response to the bad shots?
Actually, so mad. Like,
Yeah.
Really, really, really mad.
Yeah.
And it's not at anyone.
Yeah.
It's at me.
Well, of course, right? That's golf. Other than maybe blame the course or the weather or something,
I
but
have to blame my mother.
there you go.
She's sitting
Perfect.
there.
Perfect. Does mom follow you just from hole to hole? Yeah.
And then if she leaves, I hit a good shot, and I'm like, oh, that's why, because she was here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all 100% mental, and I've been there too as an athlete. I remember in college, it got to the point where when my parents would show up for me. It's funny because I grew up they all were at everything. They watched me all the time. And I got to college and they weren't there all the time, and so when they did show up and they were watching, I was like, I made a bigger deal out of the game than it really should have been, and just weird tricks that our minds play on us. But that's normal. That's a normal response and reaction. To play a sport, and a sport as hard as golf mentally, you have to be not normal. You have to be a weird robot. You have to go into a different place and a different persona when you show up to the course. You can still have your same first name, but it's got to be the golf version of you. And that golf version of you has to be as neutral as possible, right? And that's the struggle. It's the hard part is we have to almost turn off emotions, yet we're still human, right? And so that's these routines and stuff that I'm trying to give you guys, and that will give you, it's hopefully going to help with that. And ultimately, just start thinking, if you don't already, think about controllables, right? What do I have control over, and what do I not have control over? If we just took a list of it right now, and I did it on a board, a little T-chart, right? The list of things we have no control over would be infinite, and the things you have control over, just in the golf, on the golf course alone, not in life, would be this long, right? Do you have control over your mom? Of course not, right? So why spend so much energy and time on her presence, what she's saying, what she's doing, right? And at the end of the day, it's out of love, right? Out of caring. So that's good. That's a positive, no matter how frustrating it can get. Even your shots that day, and your game that day, do you have control over your physical capability? Like I said, if you're at 50% of your capability that day, do you have control over that? No, you're just a human. It's just bad luck, and today my game's just a little off. I have to come back to what I do have control over, and what you ultimately have control over is your attitude, your effort level, your energy. That's about it. Those are the 3 things. And preparation, how you prepare, right? And that's, again, coming back to you sit down and take a test in class, if you've prepared and you're ready to go, you're ready to go. And you do well, perfect. I prepare. If not, it's just not my day, right? But preparing makes you feel confident. So, okay, let's keep going.
For well, I didn't get too upset after a bad shot, which is good. And then for what I could have done better is like hit better shots. And then for how I could do that, just practice more.
Okay. All right, say that well again.
I didn't get like upset after that.
Okay. All right, and then what's the better?
I could have just hit better.
You just didn't play.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're preparing properly?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And so how can you improve your golf game? How can you is there because that's a really broad brushstroke there to say that you just need to improve your shots. Like there's a lot of shots in golf. So is there one shot in particular maybe that you could hone in on and improve?
My driver.
I was gonna say like the tee box is probably all shots are important, right? But how you start the hole is, and that's across sports. There's an analogy there. Working with volleyball right now, the big thing that I'm working on with them is serving, right? And the mental side of serving, because it sets the tone, right? It starts the point. The tee box is what starts the hole for you. So win the tee box, right? Make that your focus. Practice next bat. Let me see how good I can be there. Everything else, I don't give a shit. Let it happen. I don't know. Maybe I'll putt well. Maybe I'll chip well. Irons, I don't know. We'll see. But and of course you could use an iron in the tee box too, right? But what I do in the tee box, that's my focus for today. And let the rest go, and all of a sudden it feels like something I can handle. When you say I just need to go back to 9th grade with Coach Heflin and freshman focus and all that, and we're setting SMART goals, right? Be specific, make it measurable, attainable, relevant, timely. All that stuff is 100%. It applies to sports, and so you basically just set a goal there with your better. But it was just like I just need to improve my shots. It's like, how do you do that, Maddie? Like, what shots are we talking about? Because everybody needs to improve their golf game. Even Rory McIlroy and Scotty Scheffler are constantly in a battle to try and improve their game. So pick something specific and make that this week. That's going to be what I shoot for. And I'm going to look back at the end of the week. Did I get better at that part of my game? If I did, awesome. If not, keep working on it, right?
I feel like my mindset is really good lately. I've been able to like reset after those shots and focus on like the current shot. My drives have been like less consistent lately, so I'm trying to work on like my Kilburn, and I've noticed that I've been like closing my plug face as I'm swinging, so I'm trying to fix that.
Okay. All right. How are you trying to fix it?
I'm just like taking my swing slower and trying to like keep my arm straighter.
Okay. How's it coming?
It's going better.
Yeah.
I'm still working on it.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Feel like you're in a good place mentally? Good. Nice. Spread the wealth. Okay. Lead and coach. Be a senior. And that's important too. I don't. How much? Are y'all like hole to hole with each other? Y'all are all in different holes. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm sure you guys come across each other during your round though, like in passing. Do y'all support each other at all? Check in with each other? Be like, rah rah. Pat on the butt, right? Yeah. I mean that's the same thing with golf. Not golf, tennis. Like if y'all have ever been out to one of the tennis matches, like they'll be in match and they'll have a break in their point and look over and just give a teammate a little cheer, a little support, like, come on, let's get them, And the funny thing about that too is it's just like the old, it's better to give than receive. Like if you want to improve your game and your mentality, supporting others and getting off of you for a minute is a fun trick to play too, where it's like just speaking positive stuff out to one of your teammates somehow internally kind of makes you feel a little more positive about yourself. Like I said, sometimes it's just good to have a break from yourself. So all right, Taylor, right? Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
My shot game was really good.
Okay.
And then my better is on my drives, and I'm just gonna get lessons.
Okay.
Fix it.
Okay. Yep, and like I was telling her, that's the tee boxes, just try to focus on winning that tee box, especially if your short game is feeling good right now. It's like, I don't have to worry about that at all. I'm going to trust that. Yeah, and just give all your energy and effort towards that tee box. Do you feel like there's any mental component to your drives, or is it just
It's
technical?
not that I'm doing, they're just going really right.
Okay, all right. You don't feel any kind of nerves or any kind of mental
Like the first hole, that's
Yeah.
fine, but
after
no
that?
way going up.
Okay, good. Nice. Okay, cool. And that's a well better how for you. So keep that going, all right? That is your never ending homework, because it gives, I can teach and preach you guys, and I will, each week. And that's why I was taking notes too, is I am going to get out there at some point, probably next week. I would aim a guess at next week. I'll come out to a practice around, just watch y'all a little bit, be around, because ultimately that's the most helpful I can be, is obviously seeing y'all. Just being in the classroom talking all the time is only going to go but so far. But you giving me that, and I kind of hitting the ball back to you is going to help you grow a little bit in your mental game. So first thing, I want to talk, we got about 10 minutes. Systems and goals. We talked about that last week. And I told y'all, there's no need to talk about winning, right? Winning's the obvious. Winning's the goal that everybody has and that we all have. That's why you compete. We want to talk about our process, right? The process to getting to winning. That's what the conversation always needs to be about. Because here's the thing, to win, what do we need? If you're going to win, what are you going to need? In a match, in a tournament, a state championship, what are some of the things you need? Huh? Okay, right. Good scores, right? And in order to get a good score, what do you have to have? Talent? I can't teach talent, right? You got to have talent. That's first and foremost. I just got done with PE1 doing badminton, and some of y'all just don't have coordination. I don't know what to tell you, right? So you just got to have some God-given stuff, right? You got to have talent. And then you got to be lucky. In all sports, there has to be a level of luck involved for those who win in a day or an entire season. They win a championship. They've got to be lucky. But then the mindset is where I step in, right? There's kind of three components there. Talent, I can't help. That's coach, right? That's people giving you lessons. They're going to help maximize you physically with what you have. Luck is just luck. Hope I'm lucky that day. And then the mindset part is what we're trying to shift and adjust a little bit. And then ultimately you put those three things together, and now you're talking about winning a round. You're talking about winning a championship, okay? So if we're not talking about the winning, all right, we need to be talking about the how. And that's what the process is, and the why. And that's what I want to get to today, okay, is the why. The how and the why. Again, everybody wants to win. How are you going to do it? That's your process. That's your routines, which we've talked about a little bit. And next week, that's what we'll really hit on, is pre-shot routines, right? Stuff to help you reset between shots.
I love that.
Yes. Yeah. Have to have it. Have to have it. But then the why is what I want to try to squeeze in right now, okay? So I just gave you a sheet. Y'all flip that over. Finding your why, okay? I want you to do this right now in your journals. It's got 4 steps here, okay? Actually, you know what? Before we do the sheet, I'm going to show you the video, because this video really kind of sets the tone for it. Scotty Scheffler, what's the point? I don't know if y'all saw it this summer, but this is an interview or a presser before the Open, right? And it kind of went a little viral, because you're talking about the best golfer in the game right now, and he's up there going, sometimes I wonder what's the point. Why am I chasing every week to be the best, number one in the world, win tournament after tournament? And you'll kind of hopefully see what he's getting at. What I'm trying to offer to y'all is ultimately perspective, right? Especially for those of you you're getting upset with your golf game. Good, fair, you're holding yourself to a high standard. But sometimes it's really important to have some perspective. And it was fascinating to me when I saw this, because again, we're talking about, not the number 100th player in the world. We're talking about Scotty Scheffler, who's going yeah, I want to win, but how important is it to me? Because there's bigger things in life than just, winning in golf. So.
This is not a fulfilling life. It's fulfilling from a sense of accomplishment, but it's not fulfilling from a sense of the deepest, places of your heart. There's a lot of people that make it to what they thought was going to fulfill them in life, and then you get there and all of a sudden you get to number 1 in the world, and then they're like, what's the point? And I really do believe that, because what is the point? Why do I want to win this tournament so bad? That's something that I wrestle with on a daily basis. It's like showing up at the Masters every year. It's like, why do I want to win this golf tournament so badly? why do I want to win the Open Championship so badly? I don't know, because if I win, it's going to be awesome for about 2 minutes. And then we're going to get to the next week and it's going to be like, hey, you won 2 majors this year. How important is it for you to win the FedEx Cup playoffs? And it's just like, we're back here again, you know? So we really do. We work so hard for such little moments. And, you know, I'm kind of a sicko. I love putting in the work. I love being able to practice. I love getting out to live out my dreams. But at the end of the day, sometimes I just don't understand the point, you know, because I don't know if I'm making any sense or not, but am I not here to inspire somebody else to be the best player in the world? Because what's the point? You know, this is not a fulfilling.
I didn't mean for it to go back. I wanted to stop right there, but that's the thesis there that I want y'all to take. Is at first it sounds weird what he's saying, right? It's like, what do you mean? What's the point? Like, you get to be a champion, you know, unbelievable amounts of money playing golf, legacy, all that. He said it there in the middle though. He said what he loves, all right? And he said, I'm kind of a sicko. He's like, I love the work. Essentially he's saying, I love the process of winning. But when you win and you get to that 18th hole and we've done it, yay, it's beautiful for a moment. But when you break it down in terms of time spent, it's like that moment of ecstasy, of joy, of satisfaction that you won the match, won the state championship, is that most of your time is spent working, right? And so if you don't love the process and the journey, then you're banking on that much enjoyment. And that's, like we said, you got to be talented, you got to be lucky, you got to have the right mindset to get that, to be fulfilled, right? So are you fulfilled right now by the grind, as they call it, the process, the work of practicing and going out there every single day? And even matches themselves, they are the best practice you can have, right? When you went out there yesterday and you competed, yes, the lights are on and the score's being kept and it matters and we're trying to win, but it's also the best practice you can get, right? Y'all go out and practice today, there's no competition, there's nothing on the line, the stakes aren't as high, mom's not over your shoulder watching, right? I would assume at practice, but I could be wrong. When we go compete, all eyes are on me, score's kept, and now all of a sudden, that's the best practice you can get. Can you be kind of a sicko for the process, for the journey, all right, and for the system in place and enjoy that, and enjoy progress, enjoy getting better individually, okay? Because again, this guy has done it all now, and he's won it all, and he's up there telling us, hey, I'm at the top of the mountain, and yet it still isn't the most fulfilling thing in the world. Because all he feels is just more pressure the very next day. I got to go do it again. So he's enjoying the.
I don't know if I'm making any sense or not, but no, am I not? It's just one of those deals. You know, I love the challenge. I love being able to play this game for a living. It's one of the greatest joys of my life. But does it